Here's the view.
Mm.
So
Mm.
Let's back up in case the cable falls off.
Yeah, switch. Why is the view? It's not showing again.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So we'll be starting in 15 minutes time. So please nudge every single person that's supposed to be here. Get ready. It starts in 15 minutes. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Confirm that you can hear me.
I can hear you. Good evening, I can hear you. Good evening, Chika. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Hearing is actually quite a problem, but okay, so we'll just get started with the introduction. Good evening, everyone. We're trying to sort out some technical things here in the studio, but we'll just get started with introductions so that once that is set up, we'll just kickstart the session. All right. So welcome everybody. If this is your first time joining us, you're welcome to the Tech Entrepreneurs Community of the Covenant Nation. My name is Chika Nzikwe, and yes, this is a religious organization. Yes, darling. Okay. Okay, we would have to start with an opening prayer. Please, Barakas, do you mind saying a word of prayer for us to just kickstart? Thank you. Hi, Barakat, did you hear me? Hello? Okay. Barakat, okay. I think let's just say a word of prayer. Yes. Oh, sorry. Let's just say a word of prayer to get started. And so, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. Thank you because we are gathered here to learn, and that we trust you, we trust your spirit to guide us and to guide our facilitator this evening to be able to provide insight, to help meet everyone's needs. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. And so I would suggest that we start with introductions. We're currently trying to work out a couple of things in the studio. So how about we start with introductions? And then okay. We'll start with introductions, and then from there, before the session kicks in fully. So let's start with those that are available online. Let's start with Abimbola. Please kindly introduce yourself and what you look forward to getting out of today's session. Your name, what you do, and what you're looking to get out of today's session. Abimbola Fisher.
Hello, good evening. My name is Abimbola.
Good evening. Hi, Abimbola.
Okay. What else do you want to know?
What do you do, sir? Then what are you looking forward to getting out of today's session?
So I'm not a core tech person. I only support the tech business where I work in. So what I want to take out of today's session is to understand the processes and the nitty-gritty of how successful tech businesses are supposed to be run.
Fantastic. I'm certain that you will get something out of today's session that would be for you, because I mean, it's not just about entrepreneurs. We also have things for entrepreneurs as well. And so, Adewumi, Adeboye, do you want to go next?
Sorry, ma'am, I think you're echoing.
My apologies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adewumi Adeboye. I'm into education management. I'm also learning Python and data analysis. That's what I'm working on presently. Thank you. Hello, did you get that?
Thank you. Yes, I got that.
Oh,
Thank
all
you
right.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we should take a DME, then after DME, RE Tech.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Can hear
Okay,
you.
yeah. Okay, I'm Adeyemi Adekoyin. I'm a software developer, likewise an entrepreneur. So I'm hoping to learn about based on the topic of this program, which talk about selling business, tech, something like that. So I hope to learn the art of pushing product out to the market and making profit out from it.
All right. Thank you very much. I think Ari Tech, you're to go next.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ari Intia. I'm an employee, but I'm not into tech fully. So just looking at the topic, when we say the tech at times, they happen as if maybe there's nothing to sell, to my own understanding. So today I'm just looking at if I can really understand how this whole thing can be sold to the market regarding the topic. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Who wants to go next? Okay, so we have Ayomide Arowolo, Barakat, then Dr. Ten. Ayomide, are you here? Okay. Barakat, you want to go next?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Barakat Awuyemi. I am a software developer. I use both coding and no-code tools to build apps and to build responsive apps and software. I'm also the founder of a property management software company called
Again. My apologies. Please, do you
Okay.
mind joining?
Hello?
Please go on, Barakat, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. So I said that I'm also the founder of a property management software called Rent Harmony. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Ayomide Arowolo, are you ready? If not, Dr. Ten, please come up.
All right, good evening, everyone. Apologies when you called. My call just came in. I'm Ayomide Arowolo. I'm a blockchain developer. I'm into blockchain and Web3 tech, majorly AI and the metaverse, and also the blockchain technology. I run a Web3 institute here in Abuja called Know the Blocks Mervin, where we train people on blockchain development, metaverse tools, and AI tools too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Please confirm that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. Dr. Ten, are you ready for us?
Okay, yeah, hi, hello, hi everyone. My name is Tan. I'm actually a medical doctor. I'm actually a serial entrepreneur too, but I actually am in this group because I feel that a tech right now is probably low investment, high value or high dividend, high yield business. So I'm trying to borrow ideas, maybe steal ideas from how stuff is working, to be able to solve problems that I find in certain organizations that I run. One of which is one of the things that we do is try to give young people, well, not just young people, any category of people, once we're able to get them rehabilitated functionally, physically, if they've had accidents, if they're into drugs, if they've had issues with life, is to try and rehabilitate them and get them jobs. So this is one area I find to be very valuable, and gaining direct insight to it will help to be able to help people get vocationally rehabilitated and give them jobs and opportunity to earn a living. At least we've been able to do that on a lower scale. We intend to make it a model that's going to work across the country and probably across African countries. We're modeling it now, and probably in future, you guys will probably hear about it, but I feel that this group is giving me ideas and insight into what can be, and what people are neglecting, leaving lots of solutions on the table. And I feel that this is a huge opportunity to learn further because I'm just like a sponge. I'm soaking in a lot of things that's coming in here and seeing how it works and seeing how it will work. So kudos to what's going on here. I've benefited tremendously. I hope to partner and collaborate with as many groups as possible. So I'm grateful.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Working. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Ten. Who else wants to go? We're almost ready. I love the idea of being a sponge, soaking up all the ideas that I hear and just networking with people that are in the community as well. Please pardon me if I'm echoing. That's because we're trying to work around a lot of the technicalities of just getting the hybrid events live. So let's have Elijah Balogun, Etim Hosanna, and Favor. Just do a quick introduction, what you do, what you're looking to get out of the session. The facilitator is listening, so it would help even more response to your questions.
Okay.
Elijah Balogun, are you here?
Okay, yes. I am.
Fantastic.
Hello. I'm a software developer working in the fintech space. Just like to learn something.
Okay. Lovely to have you here. Fantastic. So we're live.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You know what? Please confirm that you can hear me. People in the studio, can you hear me? Without your devices, can you hear me? Not with the mic. Okay, that's not a problem. I mean, since you can hear me, you can hear me via the, you know what, that's okay. So we'll just start. Mute that. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so I'll just Mr. Larry, are you around? Do you let me go and get him so that we start the session.
Reading.
Mr. Larry. What? Yes, it's working. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, I think the overhead speakers are not speaking of us can hear me. Chika, yeah, come, let's Mr. Jukes. Okay.
Our speaker has been there since 3 o'clock.
All of us, we need to raise up our hand now.
Yes, you can. Oh, I think you should even be in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our
The podcast will. Are we good? Have you joined the meeting there? We usually use this place for recorded session. From home. Can you hear us? They can. We can't hear
We
them.
can't hear them.
Let someone talk from them.
Hi, can you hear me?
What's that?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay.
Oh, okay, great. All right. Maybe. So where is the speaker? Maybe reduce the volume or something. Okay. As long as they can hear us, we can hear them. Please mute the speaker and no, from the system, the speaker of that system, the volume of that laptop. Mr. Gabriel.
Did you have the presentation you wanted?
You can plug in your slide.
No, because honestly, you could not the format of this. So
Okay.
how do you guys want it?
That's my Oga.
So first, yeah, it's do you have the slide on flash now?
No, it's my laptop.
We can connect your laptop.
Okay.
Or do you want to have it here just to guide your presentation?
Yes.
Then we can share the file later.
You can actually join the meeting and then
Share your
your
screen.
screen.
Oh yeah, can someone
Okay.
get it for you?
Okay.
Can okay, key. Oh, okay, promise, please.
It's not button, so anything you see,
Please, I did that air conditioning unit. All right, so I need to apologize to everybody that is here physically, especially those who came in early. A lot of us came in late. We're to start by 5. We're starting at about 5:30. But it is one of the reasons why we are not supposed to use the studio today was for the first and the last day. But this man, he has so much depth and understanding of marketing digital products. And it won't cut it to just have a Zoom recording. And that's why we had to have an impromptu plan of having an hybrid session. And I hope we are able to still get as much from him as possible, because he might be tired already. He's been here since 3 o'clock. So while we wait for his laptop to come, I'll just do a short introduction of him that I know. Then he will introduce himself the way he knows himself. All right. I know some of you, have you ever heard of Naira Box? All right. So from the days of Naira Box to the days of Gokada and days of Opay, when it comes to digital communications and marketing, this has been Mr. Chidi. Mr. Chuks, yeah. Chuks, Chidi, sometimes I mix up. So it's been Chuks that he's had the grace to really understand how to sell to Nigerians. And one of the things is that a lot of people mistake Nigeria's population as customer base. When you hear 180 million people and you say, that means I can sell 180 million Rolls Royce, forgetting that you are not in Dubai. So people understanding their market segments and also address their market segments. He gave some insights about 2-3 semesters ago, explaining how they were even able to market in a space where there was no TV, no social media, and they need to push a product in that community, in a very rural community. So he explained how he was able to effectively market a product and sell it. And I really wish that Mr. Chuks can give us that scenario again, because he explained in a very interesting way using mystery shoppers. Yeah. Mystery shoppers. And I really hope that he can give us that example and reiterate it again. But one thing I'm very certain is that after today's session, you will have a different perspective about your tech product you're trying to build or you're trying to sell. Then there's a socket here. And you will have to be able to sell it effectively. So everybody knew how Opay came in. I think we heard there was a time there was free bike ride, or 20 Naira bike ride.
They were giving virtually almost everything.
Almost everything was free.
Food.
And everybody was just jumping on the free food delivery, yeah. Free food pickup. So there are a lot of strategies that you really need, because I tell people that how do you know what you don't know when you don't know what you don't know? When you have money and you raise funds, there's this spirit behind money. You start throwing money at problems without fixing the problem. You build an app, only 5,000 people downloaded after 3 months. And you be like, okay, carry 10 million, call one musician, influencer, give him 10 million. He hypes like the video hyped an app. I shouldn't mention an artist. They can hype it and do something buzzy about it. And you get maybe like another 20,000 downloads. But can you sustain that momentum using those kind of quick wins and trying to shop it? But one of the things that I believe that Chuks has really cracked and mastered out of the startups and I don't think those companies are really startups anymore. Out of the startups and the companies he has worked for, and before he now started his own company, I think we can tap into that wealth of knowledge and really understand it very well. So I think you're ready, right? So you have the floor, sir.
Okay.
So you can do your proper introduction.
All right. So thank you very much, everyone. My name is Chuks. Right now, I'm co-founder of BFREE and COO of BFREE also. What is BFREE? BFREE is a credit management company. We offer debt management in the sense of we offer debt recovery. We also now we acquire debt. So I know when I say acquire debt, people start asking, how do you can buy people's debt? So in other parts of the world, one of the easiest ways for lenders to manage their books, with what they call non-performing loans. I mean, loans customers have not paid. Or one of the way of managing your risk is you have a partner who will be able to buy every debt you generate, or a certain percentage of debt you generate. In some countries, you can sell from the zero. I mean, before the loan is due, for the customer to pay the loan. Once you generate the loan, you can sell it to somebody, and the person can tokenize it and do anything they want to do with it. So we were the AMCON does that role in Nigeria here, but we are the first private organization who will now be buying debt of non-collateralized loans, and it's digital loans, digital consumer loans. Somebody borrows 10,000 naira, has not been able to pay for the past 3 months. Instead of the lender continues spending money on trying to get the customer to pay, we can buy it off their book and give them money at the discounted rates, and they can move on with their life. Before BFREE, I used to be the head of marketing and growth for Fair Money. Before Fair Money, I was head of marketing and growth for Opay, Opera Group in West Africa. Then before that, Naira Box, and before that, I used to be an agency guy. Pushing.
You might bring in the mic closer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so, I hear you.
This is my first podcast. I'm not used to it.
You're going to have fun.
I really don't like it. Yeah, and I really don't like speaking. Only church community group that actually brings me out. You really will not
catch you
doing this. Apart from this tech stars. Before I went into tech, I used to work at a marketing agency where we're providing marketing and below the line marketing services for the likes of MTN, BAT, Coca-Cola, and just any major brand. I did that for 4 years. So that has been my background largely. On the side, I mentor for Techstars, Techstars Nigeria and Techstars Toronto. I mentor the startups that they have in the incubator on marketing and sales and growth strategy, on how they can bootstrap before they get their big box, how they can get their products started and iterate, test, and know what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, that is that about me. I love reading and I love art. These are my 2 hobbies, and these are what takes my money most of the time. Yeah, and I'm trying to work hard enough to be able to buy more expensive ones. So thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be able to give out whatever little that I can offer.
Okay, so you need to increase your volume a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
So yeah. So I want to start. I love to be able to say, let's go back to first principles, right?
Okay.
Because first principles sort of make sense, and the mistake we've made over time, mostly for us in tech in Nigeria and Africa largely, because we are also at least tech is quite young in Nigeria, quite honestly. I think tech before people knew it was maybe, let me say, 2014 thereabout. 2013, 2014. I can remember the likes of eTransact.
Yeah.
eTransact guys then that time the e-wallet thinking.
Interswitch.
Yeah, Interswitch. Then you have to pay 100K for integration and all that. I think
that was a discounted rate. Exactly. Was discounted.
That was afterward begging and all that.
And it take 3 months.
Yeah, man, it was a nightmare, trust me. And I can remember the first time I interacted with any tech platform was on the street. I was in university in Unilag, and I think that was a SMS Africa. Then I used to buy their token to be able to send SMS buckets, and I was kind of intrigued. These guys, they didn't have any office, they just built a website. You can just go there, buy token, do your bulk SMS and all that. And that was how we started iterating. And I can remember, when I read and talk about, learn about tech, the likes of Kenya, South Africa, they were very advanced in Nigeria then. Then I think 2015, 2016, we saw an implosion when people started understanding that, okay, Nigerian market actually has a lot of young people. So we started seeing e-wallets, e-wallet lifestyle product of the in thing. Then we had Pay with Capture, Paga came, everybody started investing heavily in that. And that was when Naira Box also came. I was asked to come join them then. And one of the most interesting thing everybody failed to understand was we were still largely selling to human being, right? And the people we were selling to, they've not changed. Nothing has changed about them. So we started adopting the Silicon Valley system. And, with time, Uber came. Then there was this platform that used to sell airtime and bill payments. So they came with that growth hack of, if you introduce somebody, you get 1 day and everything, referral system. And that referral system sort of made everybody lazy. In the sense that people just feel that, it's a tech product, you must do referral. It's a tech product, you don't have to do the basic. You don't have to put the first principle. And a lot of businesses that came about with that strategy and wanted to continue it, a lot of them failed, even to Pay with Capture. Nobody could survive that phase, right? And it's largely because the fact that, this thing we call tech, I still say it that we're just basically providing a service using technology, right? If it could be for us, we're into credit debt recovery. It could be me being on the street chasing people, right? But now we're using technology to do debt recovery. So the art of debt recovery itself is a traditional thing. It is there. It is human enabled, right? But now we decide to use tech to make it a lot more better. Now, if we're to be doing it as a normal traditional system, we would go back to first basic, right? And what is that first basic is, what am I selling? To whom am I selling? Who has the money to buy what I'm selling? And who has the need for that thing, right? And where do they need it? Now, when I was taught marketing, interestingly, I started out with this as a self-taught marketing person because my first job was in the marketing agency before I now went to school to learn about it. And the first class you will always learn about is the marketing mix, which is the 7 P's, right? Or the 5 P's, place, product, price, promotions, people, and all that. Now, what I've seen a lot of tech people, founders, programmers, and all that is we just sort of try to say this is tech. We don't have to go to that place. Let's build this thing. Don't worry, it's a good product. People will come. And trust me, in my experience, I've heard it. Don't worry, just we built a fantastic product. The people will come and buy it.
It's very good.
And then a few months down the line, they will come back to me and say, okay, we want to try and do this thing. So when you are thinking of this interesting idea, and you have to build a minimum viable product, right? Because I always advise young startups I've advised, even when I was offering advice Google.
Is it working? Like this one. Is this speaking out? Is this thing coming?
Launchpad, Adela office then, the one at Yaba. I always tell people that look at your first product, you don't have to go and build the most beautiful product, right? What is your MVP? Now, when you have your MVP, then we can talk, right? Is from that MVP, who are those people who are willing to try using your products, right? So those are the people. For what need do they need it for? Not for the need you think they need it for. What need do they need it for? Have you been able to identify it, right? And where are they? These people that you feel are going to use product, where are they? So largely, when you look at it from that first principle, it helps you not to overthink things. You don't overthink things, right? And most importantly, for every new technology product you deliver, you build, you set up, every new company you set up, your first few systems, your first few processes, your first initial customers, clients, partnerships are not going to necessarily be based on any extensive marketing strategy, right? Because they should always come from relationships. They will come from people around you. It could be your uncle, it could be your auntie, it could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, right? It could be a former colleague. They will be the one to help you to do your first setup, testing these products, which is where your MVP comes to play, so that you don't invest a lot of money into building something, invest of man hours to build something that nobody wants, right? Now, once you build that thing, your first instinct is to get this thing to the market for people to use this thing and say, I see it, I like it, and I want it, right? I always see people come to me that, oh, we built this thing, and right now we want 10,000 people to download it, to use this product. We want to get 100,000 customers. And when I always ask them is, okay, who are the first 5 people you've gotten to use this product? No, we don't want 5. 5 is too small. We want 1,000. We want 10,000. And my question is, no. Who are the first 5 to 10 people who have used this thing? What feedback have they given to you, right? Because it's in that small microcosm, that very small place that now brings the seed that you will now use to amplify before you start doing what they call spray and pray, right? You put a lot of money to campaigns and all that. That is the first principle. And the moment we miss that first principle, you will spend a lot of money to learn a very expensive mistake, right? In the sense that you will not be able to identify what is working, what is not working. Now, there is something that's actually very, very important in this thing that we do. What I say in this thing that we do is that every idea, every new innovation is a hypothesis, right? In the hypothesis, because it says that it's either not been explored in the market you are trying to exploit, or it has never been done before. Really, there's no idea. But it can be new ideas, right? Now it's a hypothesis. It might work, it might not work. Because quite honestly, what that experiment phase and that first new phase teaches you is there actually a market in this space? because you see people come to me, oh, I saw a gap in this market. And the question I ask is there a market in that gap?
That gap.
Right? And it's in those first 10 customers that you have that will tell you if there is a market in that gap. And that is where you start. First principle, you experiment with them, you test with them, right? There is no pressure because I said there are neighbors, there are uncles, there are friends, there are former colleagues. You give it to them, they try it out. Then they give you feedback. Now it's based on that feedback that now leads to the next iteration of your products that you now say, okay, either you're ready, if they give you good feedback, you know, okay, you're ready to actually go to the next step of looking for your MVP and then your market iteration. So it's very, very important that when you build a product or when you're building a product, think of first principles. This product is needed. Who needs it? Where do they need it? Right? Because one of the major interesting things we've learned and I've learned over time is one thing for you to conceptualize a product and build it and thinking that it's going to be used that way. But a lot of time we have seen that product is not going to be used in that way. I'll give an example. We're promoting Kenu soap in Nigeria. You know, at one point Kenu soap became scarce. Like people are not using it that much. So the likes of Okin, the likes of Bubu, we have another one in white. I think
B29.
Yeah, was doing better than Kenu. So PZ called us and said, okay, let's push this thing. You know, let's help them to push it in rural market. Like rural, go to markets. The likes of Mushi Market, Agege, Lagos Island, in Onitsha, everywhere. So we started doing this thing. We started pushing. But we noticed that we were pushing it. Then when we go to the street to do audit to check where people say they sold it, we don't even see the wrapper on the floor. We don't. People don't say, okay, I bought it. No, they will say, I sell them, but the people I sell them for, they don't go. Where did they go to? So we started scratching our head. But we're seeing numbers. The cartons were going. Trucks and trucks of soap were going.
Or a computer is buying you out.
So we now have to investigate deeper. And we now discovered a very interesting use case. So interestingly, most of the fish, dry fish we eat in West here are from the north. The likes of Bonu, Bombay, KB, they come from there, right? And we now discovered that they're using Kenu soap to bait fish. So they put it in nets, put it in hook. Fish likes it, and the fish will eat it, and they'll catch the fishes. So that's where most of the Kenu soap was doing. So, so that was how we just stopped all the market storm everywhere and just started focusing on those places and just started selling to fishermen, right? So, with that kind of experience, it's very humbling, right? In the sense that you have this hypothesis in your head that this is what this use case for this. But you need to be able to give the consumers the opportunity, mostly your first system, your first people, to test and let them, without any pressure, let them give you that feedback, because they will not be the one to tell you or point you. They might not be able to tell you in clear words, but when you see how they start using this thing, you might be surprised, right? You might be very, very surprised how they start using it. So it's important, because if at that point you have gone to, based on your ideology, based on your hypothesis, you've gone ahead to now put up a very extensive marketing strategy, then you now put money to it because you got early investors from your family and friends and all that. You would have end up be shooting blank, because you just see that people will be excited, but the use case, you won't be seeing the use case you're expecting. So it's very important that the first principle is, this thing I'm building is a hypothesis. I need to be able to identify who are my customers, you know, what do they want this product for, where are they, right? What excites them about your product. Then from there, you can now start looking for how you can push for your market, for your market validation, right? So it's extremely important that everybody focuses on that, because when you look at the big companies, for example, I'm very vast in, you know, beverage, beer, alcohol, like spirits and cigarettes company. There has never been any brand that we have ever pushed that we never pushed to just first only one location. And we did it for 1 month. Then it's from that feedback we now use to scale. And these are big multinationals who have
the money,
they have money, they have years. Come on, like that's all they do, right? But I will tell you the truth, before they push any products, they don't always push it everywhere first. They choose a location, they choose either Southwest, some product that they push only for North. For example, cigarettes. Cigarettes, mostly menthol cigarettes, we always push it in the North, because the Northerners like that menthol taste, right? And northern part of the country are the biggest smokers in Nigeria. So we always try first. When we try there first, if they like it, then we bring it to the South. So why should you now build something that you don't know anything about, and you leave that, you just go all out, put money in place, or Or who tell me, I just want to do marketing, tell me marketing strategy so I can go and get money and do it. You will fail. You will come back with tears, right? So first principle first is, this is a hypothesis. How do I test this hypothesis, right? Who are my first system? And when I say first system, who are your first customers? Who are your first clients for a B2B? Who are going to be your first client, right? How do I get those clients? What do they need it for? What is their pain point? Once you understand all those things, right, then the next line of your actions will typically be led by that. So for me, that is what I always advise, for mostly for people and young people and tech entrepreneurs who have not fully found their product market fit. It's very important, right? So so normally you are meant to go through what they call through of sorrow. Larry, I know you will know through of sorrow. Where you feel like it will kick up. Yes, you'll be happy. Then after like 3 months, everything just goes down, right? A lot of time, people go too fast and too early. They start experiencing through of sorrow from the beginning. You're meant to go through your through of sorrow. You're meant to go through.
Enjoy some.
And it's through the experiment that you actually enjoy that because those people will tell you, you make adjustments, then you see that you scale before you now hit the next point of where you actually need to dig deeper and grow the product. So for me, quite honestly, even as I was thinking about everything together, like, let's go back to first principle. The first principle is every tech product you build is a hypothesis, right? It is not a theory. It is not certain. Nothing is certain. Even though you have the most fantastic idea in AI, it is still a hypothesis. How do you test that hypothesis? How do you find those people that will help you to give you your first line of feedback that you use to improve on the products and the services? Then that makes you to say, okay, I have a full-blown product, or I have to go back to the drawing board. Now, how do we do that, right? Typically, because for me, I learned to grow a business with little or no budget. I'm very, very drawn to not investing money initially, right? And one of the easiest ways you actually can find that first experimental phase is within your circle. And thank God we're all Christians, these covenant Christians and word people. If you look at it, there is nothing God has given anybody or blessed anybody and not come from what they had within, right? When he wanted to tell Moses to part the rest, he said, what do you have in your hands? This is rod. If not said you can't speak in tongues somewhere else and come back with an no, it's only what you have. When Elijah wanted to give the woman more cruise of oil, he said, what do you have, right? Now, it starts from what do you have? What all of us have within is friends. We have family members, we have colleagues, we have classmates, we have those communities. We even have this community group here. You guys should be able to use this community group to experiment with your products, to test, right? Which is something beautiful YC does. There is no YC-based company that will first hit the market and first of all hit to outside market. They always hit with the YC companies first. So you see, they're smart. First principle. So before they go out to scale, they will sell to all YC companies that need that service first. Those people give them iteration, give them the first base of customers, transaction, they see if this is scalable or not, then before they go out to the other. So it's important that you think first systems first, small first. Don't carry all your money and go and do spray and pray, right? So start with your immediate communities. Start with your WhatsApp group. It's very simple. Oh, I built this nice thing. Oh, it's not perfect yet, but I want you guys also use it for the next 1 week. And give me feedback, right? And I will tell you, this is how we built it even at large scale at Opay. When we wanted to start the agents model business, initially Opay was also an app you could buy airtime and later we added bank transfer. But we knew that Nigerians don't, from experience, have built Opay. I built Nerabox. I saw the pain that Nigerians were not really keen on e-wallets then. So we told the Chinese guys, and even our boss from Portugal then, like we spent 8 hours telling this man, this thing will not work because they wanted a wallet system. You can use QR code, pay anywhere. We say, look, trust me, Nigerians, we don't give it them. Just give us something that we can use to do transaction. That's all we need. We don't think in wallet system. And they're like, no, we must do that. We were able to convince them. So that's okay. We said the agent model would be the best way to do this. And at that point, then Paga had the largest amount of agents. I think it was like 30,000 agents, or 20,000 actually. First Money had 15,000. So we said, we're going to start agent model. Now, first principle, I was given the mandate. By end of the year, you must have 10,000 agents by end of the year. And this was August. The first thing we did was we now called some agents we knew. I knew some, my other colleagues knew some. because Opay acquired Paycom, the existing Paycom agents, we contacted them and we had a meeting in their office. There were no more than 50 people. I said, this is what we want to do, this is what we do. We gave them the app, we downloaded it. We said, go for the next 1 month, do your bank transfer. Then we didn't even have POS. Just do bank transfer for free, repeat. Interesting thing, there was no PIN. And according to CDR regulation, there needed to be a PIN, at least one factor verification. There meant to be 2, but at least 1. We didn't even have 1. It was just an empty app, airtime and bank transfer. And even the bank transfer, they were using Flutterwave system to do the bank transfer, right? So we do the transfer, Flutterwave takes from our balance, then debits the position there. And because we're too small, then Flutterwave is not even put us on the core system. They have a core system that they use for Uber. They didn't put us, they put us on their just Baruch, we're begging them. They're like, no, I can't put you on core. Core is for Uber and other big partners and all that. These 50 people, we created a WhatsApp group, put them there, started using it. If bank transfer fails, it all failed. Send us the transfer ID.
That WhatsApp.
Yeah, they will send us there. We'll look at it. Then we started seeing the model that bank transfer always fails on Sunday evenings.
Wow.
And why was this Sunday evening? Why Sunday evening? Up to monday. Why was it perfect? Everything? They discovered that because everything was out. We didn't have a inflow in the sense that nobody was using our wallets to receive money. So there's no inflow. So that means our balance was always finishing on Saturday evening, Sunday morning when people in Florida are on weekend. So we can't transfer to fund our balance there. So it's balance just happening. So imagine we now had
5 million
users and that kind of thing started happening. You see the kind of problem you face, right? So that was our first system, right? We started with that event there. We bought meat pie for them, drink. It was not expensive. Took pictures with them, told them the dream we wanted to do. And we moved to the WhatsApp group. That WhatsApp group punished us with every key insight and every needed adjustment we needed to make, right? And that's where we now from there we scaled. And let me get interesting things. So now we've talked about people and experiments. Now to the point of people and position on scope, we just chose only agents that are in Lagos. We said, look at, we can manage only Lagos for now. My people already traveled to Ibadan. They stayed in Shakin and they stayed for 2 days and they saw everything. They could know what they can't manage as in Lagos. They focus on Lagos. 50 agents only in Lagos. And we did that experiment for a whole 1 month. That was where we got every necessary insight for the next 6 months of our journey at Opay, scaling Opay, right? Now, typically, it was because we had bottomless pit money. Money was a problem, right? We had just gone big, right? But I insisted and no, and I was lucky to have product people, read one of Lalere, who is the CEO of Lemonade now. They all saw reasons with me, and every one of us, we came together and we had that small system, those small first batch of 50 agents who we used. Now, the moment we were able to get everything right, learn from our mistakes, fix 1 or 2 challenges that we had and everything, then we now expanded to Ibadan, in the states. So we had those 3 states. We had those 3 states all up till December of 2018, before we started scaling out. So you could see that there was a methodology around it. It was systematic. And the whole idea was you start small, get insights, then gradually you start increasing, you start increasing, right? Then we probably could open up to everybody in 2019. So it's important that you look at inward first, not outward when you're trying to test your products. I said your first systems will always be people you know. You can't have anybody you don't know. You can't meet anybody outside and say, yeah, come on, you need to be your first friend, your business partners who find their own friends, family members, colleagues. You see, we also underestimate colleagues and ex-colleagues, right? Your ex-colleagues are more valuable than sometimes your family members, because when you start your career together, you started, hustling, you know yourself. Then obviously in the next 5 years, you discover that your colleagues are now middle managers or senior managers in your top organizations. You actually can use them, your ex-colleagues. So those also were things that I have used to this point also in my life. I always believe in, I don't necessarily have to have them in WhatsApp group, but I know how to just, hey, Alaye, it's time for you to be useful now. I want to try this thing. What do you think? I know you're in this company. What do you think? And they give me advice. So it's good you think within before you go and look for those other customers in the world who either like you or don't like you, right? So that is your first system of having to learn how to test and iterate before your product is ready. Now, I've seen people who come to me with new products and they start thinking of promotions, right? Oh, I want to do this referral campaign. I want to do all that. It's good, but also I would say referral is like drugs. In the sense that drugs will numb the pain for the main time. That hole, it will numb it. It won't, some drugs, most drugs will not kill the problem, right? Now, if, for example, you build a product and your product is not sticking, which is the typical, and it's a typical problem, and it's a good problem, right? You've built your first product, you've done your hypothesis, you've gotten your first batch of users, and they're not fantastic. Oh, they're giving you feedback. Then next 2 weeks, you find out that you're having 90% churn rates. Don't worry, panic not. But another reason why I say you start small, back in your first system, right? Is that it is absolutely very, very normal. What that should trust you to now do is to start thinking, what are those use cases that are one-time use cases that are making people to now drop off, right? What is the return value of my customers? What is the use scenario? For example, a lot of time people say, oh, airtime is what people, a lot of tech products do now. Airtime is, airtime is repetitive. Airtime helps in active rates, right? So some of us, we buy airtime every week. But some people buy airtime 200 every day because they want to buy a lot. So is a whole like what I'm trying to discover is what keeps those people there and keep them coming back, right? Now, if you have gone big and now we're do referral system, as I said, now even do influencer, right? That is a money drug, expensive drug. If you go, you do it. What will happen is that, see, and let me tell you, this is coming from like deep experience. There are referral champions in Nigeria. There are in different schools in this country, Unilag, OOU, Ife. I know them well. They have very stupid blogs. Sure, those blogs, they are not ranked any number. But trust me, the moment you start doing referral, they're working. The moment you start doing referral like this, they don't put it in that blog, bam. You just tell the numbers of those balloons, boom. Right? Now, it's to give you a high because you've seen that, oh, people are using my product because of this referral. But the truth is that you notice after 1 week, after 2 weeks, they won't come back. And you'd have spent that money and you will not get your real customers. So that's why when you're doing that experiment, I always don't advise you doing any referral campaign or giving any incentivization to people because you will not get real customers. You will not get people who will give you real-time feedback, right? They're just there for that referral. After the referral, max, if you look at your cohorts, if you are good, you might even see 30 days cohorts, but most times, 1 week, 2 weeks. In short, what will happen is that if you see 15,000 new customers, out of that 15,000, maybe only 5,000 are unique. They will create different accounts with different phone numbers. Trust me, we tried a different phone number. When I started asking for ID, they will create ID, BVM, forget it. People that have false BVM in this country is normal. It's a cabal. We know them. We know them. We've seen things. So when you're at that early stage, try as much as possible to minimize your referral system. Now, the referral system is not meant to give you customers. It's meant to amplify the good thing that you have already, right? Because when you go into referral systems, it means that you actually will need to have a foundation to build from. Just think about it from an arithmetic progression point of view, right? Is you have 2. If 2 people each bring 1 each, you have 4, right? Now, those 2 people, first 2 people, they don't have an unlimited number of people to bring. They have maybe 20, 30 friends, or let's say in their contact base, they have 50 real friends they can broadcast to. Let's say they broadcast to 50. Conversion rate typically will be like 5%, right? So 2 people will bring 5 each, that is 10. 10 people come, 10 people will they'll send to other contact too. They will bring it still 5% conversion rate. So that will be also 5 times that 50, right? Now, out of that 50, they will bring still another 5% conversion rate that will be able to get you another. So you see that instead of it growing arithmetically, with time, it's what we call shitty click-through, and it starts going down. So a lot of time, people always go for that first high, that first kick. Yes, you will do it. You will blast to 20,000 people. You now go and put it on one blog. Maybe is it Mufasa Edmond to put it for you? Boom, you are going everywhere, influencer. But the truth is that because number 1, these people are not your real customers, and number 2, you have not fixed what makes people to come back all the time. You will, at one point, max in 1 month, you see that everybody will reduce and you start feeling bad. You know? So that I say, I really advise, try as much as possible to look out for who your real users are. And that is where we go back to the first principle again. Who are your customers, right? Who are the people that want to use these products? Why do they want to use these products? Where are they, right? How much should you build them? So if you are able to now fix that very, very well, you might actually not even need the referral campaign anymore. You might not need that high or peak, except you have been able to exhaust the real customers, and you now want to now explore and expand, and at that point, you now have to do mass media, right? So that's where referral now comes into play. You need to grow, not grow something that's struggling, but grow a good product. Even when we're doing the All-Ride campaign, we're giving 10 naira free ride and all that. We discovered that, so what we used to do is that we'll just geofence a particular area. For example, typically universities will give us the highest number of rides. Any area that university, they are students, or they like free things, so they're the ones that will give us those very high numbers. The moment we geofence them, I say, okay, let's them not see any referral campaign anymore for the next 1 week. You see that typically it goes to go down. So you really will not see the rate. So and that is to show that, and that's for us to do that. We did it at scale. We did it in 24 states all across Nigeria. Yet we still are seeing those nuances of not seeing who your real customers, right? So you need to be very, very careful. And that is why you need to do experiments in small dose, quickly learn, then grow. Look for who your real customers are.
I have a question, although it's not time for the question, but as you kept talking, it's kept growing in my mind and I couldn't pen it down. Now, when it comes to this referral, you've debunked this referral that's not drug. So let's say I want to start selling MacBooks. I know, let's say this MacBook is 1.5 million. Oh, this is my first time selling Mac. I don't understand my customers very much. I don't even know their account balance. The cost price is 1.5 million. I don't want to do referral, like you said. And I decided to sell it for maybe 1.2 million, some percentage discounts. Using that, like, okay, let them experience it. When they experience it, like, wow, this is a very nice product. Would they want to pay the full price? When I now tell them, okay, these things actually want. So this is something that I think is easier in service side. I'm just using products as an example. So is that one a sustainable high, or it's also a drug?
Quite honestly, it's a drug because you also you got
because it's a loss for every sale is a loss.
So basically, you're running an NGO. You're not running because it's not sustainable. Now. You can't pay your bills, right? You need to pay salaries. You need to pay AWS costs and everything. So even at that point where you say, oh, people are VC funded and VC tells you go for growth, go for growth, go for growth. The truth is, the money will stop, right? You're to finish. So you need to run your business in a more sustainable way. And that is now where we are right now in the real, what the market is right now is how do we grow products in a more sustainable way right now, right? Not before where it was growth at all costs. Don't worry, there's money. Then
just come back.
It's 1 month VC will pay, will give you money because everybody had heard of pay stack exit. The Nigerian market is the hottest place right now. So a lot of VCs were throwing money. Even personal people will just put in check 50K, 20K. Now that's changed, right? So what it means is that, for everyone who is hearing me now, you need to be able to run your growth and your sales in a more sustainable way. And that means you can't just go ahead and run some discounts. It's just going to be illegal for you. It's just a suicide. Because you run that discounts, your cost price, you'll not get it. So how do you want to go back to be able to get back that product, for example, using your case scenario? If it's a tech company, you, for example, you've employed 2 or 3 people, right? You have AWS costs. And right now, with the conversion rate right now, 755 naira to $1, AWS ain't smiling. And the truth is that they too, the market is small, is tighter now, so they're looking for more revenue, right? So you have to be able to put your marketing and sales in a more sustainable way where all your costs will be captured. It's very important, right? Even at the point when we did our Opay, where we're spending that money, at what point, that's when we now started looking at, okay, how we're going to cross-sell so that people will now be able to do more transaction on the app,
platform,
right? So we started looking for, okay, in some areas, USSD was the in thing. In the north, we started pushing USSD. So people could do bank transfer. People could do wallets, receiving their wallet and go to an agent. So that we started linking everybody together to agents, where Opay now has the highest number of agents all across Nigeria. So you have to also run the business in a more sustainable way. You can't just go and grow to kill yourself, right? It's also very, very, very important. Now, I know there are people who have created products that are B2B or B2C, and yes, they sort of have different tactics, right? Of how you get your customers, how you run your businesses. But the first principle still remains, right? I have largely been in B2B most of my career, but right now I've co-founded a B2B business. And quite honestly, the first principle, our first client was our former employer, Fairmoney. So you see, we didn't go out to start looking for clients anywhere. Right from day one, because we were leaving the company, because maybe we left the company to start BFREE. And as we were leaving them, we told them this is what we want to do, and you want you to be our first client so that we can experiment with you. So for B2B, we didn't have to now go on LinkedIn, start writing long thread. I won't tell you to start doing LinkedIn hack, this one. No. At that beginning phase, which is where I believe a lot of people are here right now, is your circle will always be your first system. You can't go and look for your first system out of anywhere, except maybe God gave you an instruction.
What if there's bad belly in the circle?
that was said there. It did. So let me tell you a story, right? So when we left, yeah, sorry, I'm calling the name of the company. So they are former employers were our first clients, and they gave us the first 2-3 months of revenue. Then we've already now said, okay, this our model is working, is needed. How do we now scale it to other clients? And we felt, okay, being former employers of this company will give us a good, badge of honor. Actually, it was not that way. The moment we mentioned that is, we're former, what? You're from that? So that means if I give you my data, you start sharing with the all of a sudden, like for the first one, that 1 month, we couldn't make any sales. So immediately we had to go and remove that rubbish from my slide. Even our website, we took it away and everything. So yeah, that bad belly can be there, right? So it was not a problem for us. So we had to really quickly adjust and yeah, is that? No, beyond that, we just said we thought that was going to be a badge of credibility that we're coming from a former lender. So we have worked in a digital lending company. We know the pain point. So as we're pitching to other digital lenders, they
feel like you want to become a whole.
You want to so
you're still connected.
Go and sell it to them and be no. So we had to disown
and be neutral.
So which door is profitable to direct, right? So but most importantly is yes, you will know. I'm not saying you should just go and spray and pray. You will know the people who actually, and there will be a lot of people who actually want to help. Just okay, no, let me see what it's like, right? So you need to also learn, and that your relationship comes into play, right? Without relationship, you cannot build a successful business. It's just not possible. Mostly in Nigeria, because in Nigeria, people buy from people. Forget all these grammar people speak on TechCrunch. I'll tell you the truth. Right now, we service 10 Nigerian banks. The only major bank in this country that doesn't work with us are UBA and First Bank. UBA because we couldn't do business with them in terms of profit. First Bank, we're 80% down, 80% done with integration, and everybody was through personal relationship, right? So our market is not like Silicon Valley again, right? This is Africa. We are very traditional people. We're more likely to open up to people if somebody said, oh, I know this person who is doing this one, so let me listen to him.
In fact, I think this is one of the things I said at our first edition. I said that in Africa, even in several other countries, people don't do business with who can do it. They do business with who they know can do it. Yeah. Exactly. So they have to know you before they know you can do it. So if you are very skillful and you are building that app that is better than SpaceX and Tesla combined, and you are the only one in your living room, your door locked, and you are going out, you are very spiritual, don't talk to people because you don't want your idea stolen, you will end up continuing down in that hole. Because nobody can say that, because when conscience come around it and someone just mentions something like that, I know that Larry does this. And another flip side of it is that if today you are doing A, tomorrow you are doing B, next tomorrow you are doing C, they can't even pin you to one. It's another major problem. It's better they don't know you for anything that you are known for everything. Yeah. So you can consider, sorry for interrupting, but I just did put that in.
Which is very spot on. So I said the tactics might be different, right? But the first principle is still the same thing, is that you always start with your inner circle of people who you can easily just walk up to and talk to them. Now, and that important step right now on the first principle is being able to identify the channels or the place. So in our case, being in tech, a lot of time we would always think in digital, right? We always think in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Oh, so Mr. Chuks, where is that place where I can get a lot of downloads? Oh, should I try blogs? Should I try Google Ads or all that, right?
Or Instagram. Where should I put my money?
Exactly. Where should I put my money on? Now, a lot of time, what I always advise people is that seeing this whole thing is guys, you are rolling, right? I'll be very honest. This is me that have run marketing spend budget of $2 million every month. Is guys, you are rolling, because it still go back to that first principle. Everything is experiment. So what I always advise is don't pick any channel and assume that that channel is going to be the most efficient channel for you. You need to be able to try out different channels, right? It's when you find different channels that you now be able to identify the most efficient. So I look at the most efficient is actually the keyword, not the one that gives you the most download. There are some channels that you can get a lot of download from, but they will not be active. There are some channels you get
fewer.
There are fewer, but they're quality. Now, when I'm saying channels, I'm not also saying only digital channels.
And it's not a TV station.
Exactly. Also offline channels, right?
Absolutely.
On TV stations.
I was trying to throw a phone there. I don't mention the brand. So that doesn't sound like an advert.
Yes, well, I'm talking TV stations also, but you have to be able to identify and first of all try to explore within your budgets and within your reach, right? So which now also still keeps to the scope. When we started out, and I said they're doing only 3 states, even down to my Facebook ads were only just those 3 states. I did not do the whole Nigeria. And it's very easy when I'm teaching people digital marketing. You see them, they just go the whole of Nigeria. They are targeting. Yes, sometimes it's cheaper because you're not super targeted. But when you want to build the products, you actually should start, step by step. Because the truth is that if you do the whole Nigeria, and let me use an example. Typical example, lending. In lending space, who has experience in lending here? Digital lending. Has anybody done any digital lending business before?
Maybe
Currently, I work.
Maybe Chica.
Yeah. So as distraction, we do a bit of lending. Traction.
Okay.
Not transition.
Okay, should I ask you, have people gone what we call the baptism of fire in Nigeria? When in a particular country, in particular of Nigeria, you just see people just are getting loan there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she knows it. So if you're into, so this is an example of digital lending, right? You're into digital lending, and you're like, yes, this product is ready. Yes, we have the cheapest interest rates. And you crank it up to the whole of Nigeria, do your Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram, everywhere. Cheap interest rates, 1% for the whole month. Blah. The thing that will touch you. This is full mafia. I'm not lying to you. Like, I mean, full on mafia. They are sitting down, pouring the internet. They have a list of digital platforms that lend. They will go to markets in the north and tell them the federal government is giving money.
Ooh.
So during COVID, the federal government is giving COVID palliative. So people took the loan, not knowing that they're taking loan. They say the federal government palliative. I'm not lying to you. In 1 week, we hit 5 billion naira in 1 week.
Wow.
Like 5 billion naira worth of loan. And when we not check, it was coming from those 3 states. Something is wrong. We did not see traffic from the southwest. It was coming from the north. They had to fly in there to go and check. So we tracked the customers, asked them, it's federal government loan now. And they told us, they came to our market, the office. They will sit down, all of us will go there, we'll put our BV and create accounts. Once we get the loan, they will take 50%. We give 50%. See, even the banks, they're paying the dues to everybody. See, everybody take a water.
Everybody they collect.
Everybody collect. So,
I'm just getting this.
So that's
geniuses.
So that's what I'm saying. Look at, if you are starting this thing, you define the scope. First principle. Don't go all out. Maybe you come, obviously you are rich, very rich. You spray and pray, carry the machine gun, start spreading ads everywhere. You will see people that will do you. If you're in payment. If like put key on your URL, they will crack it and start creating virtual accounts on your head and start doing transfer on KYC1. So don't worry, we know this. So that I'm saying that, look, I'm mostly in our market here. Our market is not as sophisticated as the Silicon Valley market. You need to be able to define your scope based on your strength and based on what you can handle, right? So that you don't stretch yourself too far, that you no longer have the competence to be able to manage whatever issues that will come up, right? And it's also from a budget point of view, it's cheap. So like I say that when you find the right channel, efficiency is key, not exponential growth. Efficiency in the sense that oh, this channel gives me, for example, okay, so channel A gives me 1,000 downloads in 1 week. Channel B gives me 200 downloads in 1 week, right? Typically, everybody would choose channel A because channel A gives you 1,000 downloads. But the truth is that if you not check deeper, you will not ask yourself how many percent of those people actually completed the installation of your app. How many percentage ended up using that service? Channel B, you might be surprised that out of that 200 people that downloaded the app, 50% real installs. That means when you say install, download is different from install.
Installs, yes.
Oh, yes, download is different from install. Download is I download the app. Install is that I now create account.
Okay.
I did onboarding.
Okay.
Then
Complete KYC.
Then that don't mean that I will use the service. So me now, the first batch of people that work with me at Techstars, they didn't like me. So they liked me when I spoke to them. They liked me. They were begging them to work with me. Then when I started drilling them, so they'll come. Yeah, Mr. We got 10,000 downloads. Yeah, so we have 10,000 customers. Like,
no.
So I have an Excel sheet, and I think I will share it with you where you can track your real conversion. I just put 10,000. Bam. I got asking question. How many of them completed the solution? We don't know. Oh, you don't know. Open your Google. So I just ask them, okay, I'll open your Google tracker. I'll open it. I'll start putting Unicode there so that I can track
the stages.
Stages. What we do? Go back, go and work. After 1 week, we check. Only 10% are completed. Hey, interesting. I start laughing. Out of that 10%, how many of them use the service? You go back. Nobody said it. How many used it? Only 2% used it. Okay. So 2% of the customers you have. So that 10,000 I put it away. That's where the efficiency lies, right? And because you are going through this process as a process of hypothesis and experimentation, you will be patient, you will be humble also. You will look at it, okay, if this channel is giving me more downloads, but not real customers who install and use the products, what is the problem? When you investigate, if you don't have time to investigate, you sort of look for where you can actually have an optimal system. Now, I will give an example of also from an offline product. So and this is when we're building the agent network. So I used to run Facebook ads massively, like in a week. In a week, I used to get as much as 100,000 leads. Comfortably, not unique leads. It was crazy, serious good hack. But we discovered that with the leads I would generate on Facebook, then we give it to the contact center for them to call. So I used to call them belly leads. We had like 1,000 people who their job was just to call. They will call, sell to you, get you to download the app, Opay app, then finish registration and all that. We discovered that the conversion rate was like 20%. When I say conversion rate, that means these people started doing conversion. So that was the metric I was using. Transaction, not install app, transaction. We discovered that we now had another people who we call aggregators. Aggregators are like senior mobile money agents who now have people who they're mentoring. So they will have somebody even, there's some, Mr. Edmond right now comfortably has 10,000 agents under him. He's an agent. He has 10,000 agents under him. Can you imagine? Now, we discovered that with these people here, so they are super agents that are aggregators. With this kind of people, we used to see as much as 80% conversion rates. Now, in a week on Facebook, I'll get 100,000. On aggregator, I will get 1,000. But I promise you, after that 1,000, 800 will start doing transaction immediately.
Wow.
So what did I do? Immediately, I started taking some of the budget from like Facebook ads, started investing in this. So we started having events all across Nigeria. And these are like massive events 5,000 people. I can have that event 4 times concurrently, 4 events in 4 different cities at the same time, concurrently running at the same time. Because why we started doing that was that the likes of First Money, Paga, they started looking for where we're having events, okay, to confuse them. I'll announce I'm going to be in Osogbo right now. They will run to that Osogbo. We will now have another event in Ilisha, have another one in Ibadan, have another one in Abeokuta, all at the same time. They'll be on, everyone drive 4 hours all the way to Osogbo. They'll meet me, they'll be smiling. Yeah, okay, you come. Put your table there. I have 3 other events happening at the same time. So those was the strategies I learned from being an agency. But you could see that was how I was able to show and identify the most efficient channel for myself. Using.
But you spent money first.
So now my job is to teach you not to go and get that pain. I had the luxury of, because I had a big budget at Opay, right? And I had a company that was patient, because all of us, we knew that this thing was something that was big, but we don't know it. So everybody was patient. Everybody was doing the experiments with me. And I had a Google sheet you could track from anywhere in the world. You could see how many downloads every day. from Facebook, from Google, from Opera News, from everything was data driven, right? So it's important you find the most efficient channel, right? Now, for B2B, a lot of time when you start, your most efficient channel will be offline. I'll be quite honest with you. They're not going to be online initially. It's when you need to exhaust the offline channel, you might not be able to let me go big on online, right? So being able to identify the most efficient channel for yourself for pushing your products and services is very, very key. Don't fall for the trap of, don't worry, I'm going to give you 10,000 downloads. 10,000 downloads is not 10,000 customers. If there's anything you take from here, download for people that are building app, visit for people that have websites.
Yes, traffic. That was even worse.
Traffic is the biggest scam on earth. I can hack traffic. I will give you, people will be pinging your websites. In short, we know how to do this thing. The DWAM, your traffic, you see it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Your competitors will be envying you. Say, why are you doing it?
You have 5 million visits per day.
Per day, you know. So keep your eyes on the end goal, right? And the end goal is what is that particular metric that is pushing the business, which is customer, right? There was, when growth hacking was a thing, everybody was doing growth hacking, but discover that you growth hack, but if you don't understand what is the most important metrics, you can just put it. So in some companies like Facebook, they call it the North Star metric, right? What is your North Star metric? What is that most important metric that you're like, okay, if a customer does this, it means that customer is a customer, right?
It's really common.
Exactly. So for Facebook, is somebody opens a Facebook account, Facebook will try to get you to find 10 friends or follow 10 friends, right? On Twitter, it is 5. The North Star metric is once you are able to follow 5 popular people or 5 friends, you are more likely to tweet, right? Compared to if you just open an account and just stay. So you can say, oh, we have 20 million people that own accounts. 20 million people that own account does not mean 20 million people that are tweeting, right? So you need to be able to also identify your North Star metric. And now in this North Star metrics, it's not something that quite honestly we see a lot of places. Most books will not tell you. They'll just tell you, oh, how to grow your business, how to get from X to this X, to grow 10X, 5X. But the most important metric you should not be able to look out for after you have been able to identify the most efficient channel is what is my North Star metric. I'll give an example. When we're at Opay, our North Star metric was agents who could do at least every week, they could do 1 million naira.
Wow.
In transaction.
I was joking.
Any agent who can do 1 million naira transaction, that agent is more likely to stay. Is more likely to bring other agents, or is more likely to stay.
Even make enough money to make sense to
exactly, they are grow. We could have stayed with download the app, just do 1 or 2 bank transfer, then it's fine. No. So we started pushing people, we started identifying ways in getting people to now be able to hit that mark. And when they hit that mark, it means that they're confident enough, they're comfortable enough to use your products, right? So you need to be able to identify what your North Star metric is. And some businesses have first layer of North Star, second level of North Star, third level of North Star. In some businesses is 1, in social media platforms is 2. After install and follow, then activity, right? So you need to understand what are those core activities that means that this person is going to actually carry out activity and stay here for the long run, right? So after you have achieved and you try to find the channel, you need to fix that. Because if you don't fix that, you come and they will go. Money for your sales and marketing activity. So I think for me, I want to stop here. Other things I'll send
the documents. Okay.
Right? I'll add some things that I've just spoken about here, so that I can take questions because
time
right
okay.
Up. So I'll be more than happy to take questions. Interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chuks. It feels like I'm sitting in a master class. I mean, again, working in marketing. So most of the things that you're talking about, working in marketing and in credits, it resonates like very, very, it drives a lot of points home. Okay, so we'll be taking questions now. If you have your questions, kindly share them in the comment section. For those in the studio.
Okay, someone has a question.
Fantastic. This is why, yes, you are going to get the first. Please come up and ask your question. Thank you very much. Or the microphone.
For those at home, they can hear.
Yes. Just go on. Yeah.
All right. Good evening. And thank you so much for such a It's like more than a master class. So much. So I actually came because I wanted.
Okay, please. I hope
So I work. I actually co-found a marketing and technology company.
Okay.
But we work with small companies.
Yeah.
And the SMEs, and it's really a hard nut because the budgets are small.
Yeah.
And you don't have much tools to be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So because of that, you just pray for those that can have the patience to buy the time that the money cannot buy for the tools or for the effectiveness you want.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, how do you go about that?
Okay.
When you work, SMEs, when you work with SMEs, and you get results, but the results are, some of them are a bit, you don't have the time, you don't have the budget, and they may not have the patience to wait for that time for the result to come.
Yeah.
So you do the work, but before the results start coming, either they are already discouraged, but now that's one. Then the second is that because we work with various SMEs, so you can see ideas and you can understand, oh, this sector, then we bet some other products. Like one, which is up now, we're trying to do something around utilizing markets. We'll now deep dive into just restaurants first. So, and we do something about Calabaibo foods, where all the Calabaibo restaurants right now, so we are onboarding aggregating them because we work with a lot of restaurants. They are small, and we have a pain. Now we discover another product and we see that one we did started in May. The numbers are interesting. Now, you mentioned something about being known for different things. I do products. I am a tech person. I like marketing. I do marketing. So because I'm exposed to different sectors, I have different ideas. So running a new product, but different from what you are currently known for as a business, still being able to, because you've moved from Opay, I believe, to this your new product, and you say your relationship have paved way for what you are doing. So what would you say to somebody like me? How did you maneuver that?
Okay, so your question is multi-layered, but let me start here. Let me ask. So the marketing company, the marketing startup, right? You've built a marketing solution for SMEs.
Yes.
You built it, or you're working in that company? Or you're a co-founder?
I'm a co-founder. I also work in the company.
Good. So you're a co-founder, and this is your product you built, right? Good. Now, after you build that product, the sales cycle is long and painful, and sometimes it does not convert.
But tobacco convert to my heat.
It will make sense, right? Number one. Then number two, you now have ideas of other products leveraging on what insights you've gotten, and you now want to push those products to the market, correct?
Yeah.
And from those ideas, now you're seeing that something is working there, correct? So in product marketing, that's what they call the pivot. And I know you know that, right? Typically, companies start off with an idea, and those ideas they're not like what they expected. So which is why I said, look, you start with your MVP, you start with that hypothesis, and that hypothesis is the humble assertion that, look, at this thing I want to do, I don't know. I want to go and test it. And I understand, and I feel this idea of the sales cycle being very long. And that category of business you are trying to target, the SMEs, they are some of the most notorious and difficult customers to deal with in Nigeria.
We are.
Right? And the reason why they're difficult is they want innovation. Sometimes they don't have the budget. It's not as if they don't have the money, but there are too many things putting pressure on the money. So a lot of them are like, we want this thing, but
it's nice.
It's nice, but
maybe next month.
Exactly. Then it's not again. You see, you have to pay salaries. Yeah, continue.
Get the result. from your, so there is various departments, various out of your own control. You get the result for what you were brought to do. But the results get lost with a lot of overheads from other uncontrolled sectors in the organization. And then your own service, maybe they now struggle to continue because they have to pay rent, they have to do various government stuff, all those kind of things. But you know that if I just get 3 more months or to continue this trend, not that after you now break for 3 months, then you now come back again. Then we'll now start almost.
So and I think you people need to sit down and do what they call a SWOT analysis, right? What is your strength, what is your weakness, and also the risk analysis also, right? Because the truth is, a business that has such a very long sales cycle and long testing cycle is very, very hard to scale with that kind of product. I actually have a friend who used to work with me at Opay, now co-founding this company. You might even know the company. The company started out as, okay, we're going to provide payroll services for companies. And after like 6 months, the guy has done B2B sales. The guy wanted to die. He said, no, you can't do this anymore. He switched up to payment services. So people can receive money from their money from their gig in dollars into Nigeria. So you might actually have to think about it, right? So marketing itself is not about the also going out, about understanding the product, right? So which is why I said, look at this product, people that need it, can they pay for it, right? Will they pay for it? How will they pay for it? When will they pay for it, right? So if you look at those variables, you find your answer. I think you know the answer, but you're not like, man, after all this work,
after all the hard work.
Well, I think it's what's happening. Because if the cycle for proof of concept takes too long, it means that you actually need deep pockets to be able to invest to keep your team, pay them, while you are hoping that this one will go through. And when it not even goes through, because it's a B2B, invoicing account receivables too can be long. So those are a lot of the strategies you also have to look into, right? To say, okay, this thing is the right idea for us. If not, you actually can look at it again and maybe make adjustments. I'm not saying, oh, people from down, but you might need to say, okay, you know what? How do we now shorten the time it takes for us to be able to validate this idea and be able to see the clients? If it's something that's within your control, you can take it, right? Now, there's a strategy framework that is being used in understanding how attractive a particular industry is, right? And they have like 6 or 8 or 9, I think 9 parameters. And one of the key parameters is how fast is it you can enter into a market, how easy and enter a market, and how easy is it to go out. It's a market that is very hard to enter, but very easy to go out.
The bad market.
The market that is very easy to enter, very easy to go out is a bad market. You typically want to look for a market that is very hard to enter and hard to go out, so that the cost of investing into that thing will also a market that acquiring a customer is also very hard. It's expensive. It's also not a really strong strategy, right? So if you look at, I think I Google it also for the framework of strategy of market attractiveness. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you see the table. They will put it attractive, not unattractive. They will see they will ask different questions. You cannot use it to see that, okay, am I really in a place of strength, or we need to pivot or make some adjustment to make our market a lot more interesting.
Okay, there's a part 2 to his question. That's about people seeing you that like you're doing
jack of all trades,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So also it's dependent on the life cycle of the business. If it's very early on, you're trying to do so many things, yes, it can be very, very discouraging, right? But the truth is that there'll be a point in time in the business where you will not have to add on more product and services because you have exhausted a particular life cycle of that particular product. That's going to a point of cash cow where you don't need to
do anything again. It's just on auto, it's just making money.
Exactly, but it's not going to grow, right? It's not going to grow, but you just make the money for you. So now you're not looking for your new star. So that is where also the BCG framework comes into play. Now, if you are early on in a business and you are doing so many things, then yes, it's not really particularly a good sign. You now have to look at which one is actually giving us a lot of money. Let's focus on that one, right? It's good that you have a lot of ideas, but you see, building a company is discipline. You can't chase everything. You will run out, right? Every big company starts with one product, then achieve strong market defensibility, then now use that to leverage your own.
Okay.
Even something as simple as looking at even look at just I'll give an example. Jay-Z. Jay-Z did not start with doing everything. Jay-Z started with rapping, right?
Right.
From rapping, he now moved to clothes. From clothes, he moved to alcohol. You see, but he started with one. Leverage on that one before we move to the next one. I see a lot of people do three. Yes,
So there's even a side to it. So for example, I know Pelumi is in the control room. We can hear this and we'll be laughing. Our first website or some of our earliest websites, or if I think I saw one of my first business card. On that business card, there was public address system, networking, software development, there was school management, there was
Only you.
everything was, in fact, there's a platform now that if you Google Rebel Cube on that platform, we are listed as air conditioning repair units company or something like that. Because when they went to our website there, they couldn't really pick what to say, okay, air conditioning repair and the likes. But what I would say is that as business started growing, I think my mentor was telling me then, I usually say that thing that when you have a mentor that's too far ahead from you, they are communicating well, but you cannot decide whatever they are saying because it's beyond, it's too far from your current capacity. My mentor told me then, but I just felt like it's because you're a big man. You have alternative man, you cannot understand. 5K from networking, plus 2K from website design, plus 3K from this. It can make something work. But in my little experience, at least, I think RevoQ is over 10 years now and the likes. This is part of RevoQ's subsidiary now. At least the youngest, the media arm. And we went to, we're an education tech company, we're an ed tech company, right? Within that ed tech, I don't believe in pivoting and removing your 2 legs to pivot. We keep one leg in, then take the other leg and try another thing within the space sector. Okay, for example, we started with school management. It had so many features. We wanted to do all in all in that school management, and that was a big problem. Discovered that we had to segment the problem. Some schools just need a bit of that problem as a different product. So when some people saw us creating those new products, they thought like, oh, RevoQ was creating a new product. And literally, it was just bringing out some things from existing solution and address a different market, and it works separately and solve a different problem. So until we've done that and school management, yeah, we are still growing that space. The media was as a result of, we created LMS, learning management system. So let me use TechMail. So we give learning management, we literally created it for schools. They discovered that our real business was coming from businesses. So it was businesses that were using our platform to do training and onboarding and all those things for their staff. And that was generating more revenue than school that you beg for subscription that, please, time is ending, please. So what one company will pay you for a whole year is because of what 10 schools will pay you with multiple follow-ups and phone calls. Sir, that are invoice, sir. I'm not trying to, I'm just following up with you. Our company will pay like one, just make sure that their service is running. But what now notice that when companies pay for the LMS, we don't do content. See, now we don't do content. The quality of the media they put on a very beautifully designed platform is somehow, someone is buying course from them. And when the person bought the course, the video is blurry, but platform is working fine. It's responding very fine. So that was what made us start the media arm. And that's how the media was born. So companies are now coming in to do end-to-end. They come in, they shoot the course content, the tech team is upstairs, they move. So there's no lag in communication that, oh, we are reaching out to the company that's working on the video. They've done 2 episodes. So that is how. So we are pivoting, but every of our pivots are still within
the confines of the
within the
business.
confines of the. So if you see us doing logistics today, it's logistics in education. If you are doing real estate education. So we are still selling to the same subsector. So so it's not a jack of all trades in that regard. So it's not like today, tomorrow now, I'm now going to God is good. I started doing on a chat to Oweri. And so it's a good thing, but just make sure that you are grounded first. Like I said, one leg is grounded very well. They remove another leg, pivot it again. So not that you just jump with your 2 legs. I'm sure that that one leg you left on the ground is really grounded. That is what I would say. Yeah.
Do we have more questions in the group? Please simply just raise your hands and I would. Oh, okay. We have another question here. Okay, please. Yes. You don't need to.
Okay, I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So all of those yes, I thought, yeah. I think it's pretty right. Oh yeah,
Your customer.
That's yeah. Okay, recommended it. They wanted to just name of our company with facial level. Yes, in card and everywhere in Africa. But we're just
Oh, you said you wanted to connect to one. Oh, you were in that court. Wow. Space.
But they want population, not necessarily that they want to have. There was no technology. We were just bricks and mortar. And then so this time what we're trying to look at makes that just the way that anywhere they are, any company, the B2B company, you can always do the service. Now, you mentioned that you should know your customer. Okay, and after knowing your customer, you shouldn't just use all manner of marketing to know the kind of marketing that you do. Brought to now my mindset. Once you just the product gets to be ready, once you do the product, you do a lot of impressing.
Again, money dinner.
So do a lot of and because it's more like what you can call a multi-currency payment system. So we do a lot of impressing and it starts running. Okay. But with what that particular client is asking for, Nigerians don't do it. Because what's a typical Nigerian kind of company, they don't mind paying taxes. You can see Nigerian company 15 years, they don't really pay any tax. Those kind of companies that we're trying to approach is the first thing that they want to do. And the first company is Nigeria. If we must survive, and what it means is that we typically might not have much of the Nigerian company that wants to pay for that kind of stuff. I don't know if you understand. Yeah. So in that sense, how do you manage your marketing and segmenting that particular little Nigerians that can still do it? Because that is where the money will come from. You finance the other one. Okay. So basically.
So sorry. Just to rehash your questions, because people online didn't hear you. You're speaking about segmenting your problem now to address a niche market, which intends to be your cash cow. How you intend to go about it. Fantastic.
Okay. So I think it's a very cow problem, right? That a lot of technology products have, in the sense that, oh, okay, I have this innovative thing, but we don't know, we don't think the market will be open to it, right? We've done our research and people are not open to it. Now, the truth is, there are different ways to the market. It's not
No,
exactly right. If you try one approach, it doesn't work. You can try that approach. And there is the place of it's only in Nigeria that people don't explore key knowledge of key opinion leaders in various topics. A lot of time when we talk call influencers, we just think of comedians and shaking bomb. And but interestingly, there are key opinion leaders in our market. And even I use them in various products. And when they speak, the market sort of responds to it. So I'll give you an example. If you are pushing a product that is maybe savings or investment or anything, you typically want to try nairametrics, because nairametrics has a way of, explaining business things in a very simple way. That's not like business day, right? They will explain, equity, they will explain, the stock market is this. So people sort of trust nairametrics. And when nairametrics post a news or post a product, people sort of respond, right? Now, so that's the example of a key opinion leader. Now, you can look out for in the HR industry in Nigeria. Who are the key opinion leaders, number one, right? Who are the institutions responsible for driving that particular sector? And you can partner with them. So it doesn't, as I said again, it doesn't have to be you guys going to go and do one expensive ad, start wasting money. No. You can look at, okay, for example, there is the Nigerian HRO institution, right? When are they having their annual HRO conference? Fantastic. My brother, you guys should go and be a sponsor of that program. And what you got is to be, they are good at going to do the exam and pass. All of them. So what you are doing is that every top HR professional in Nigeria, they are there, they are seeing your products. And they are interacting with that product. You should force a way to find even to have a session where you can go on stage, talk about this thing, talk about the problem you want to solve. Or in Nigeria, we've seen a lot of HR professionals don't know how to calculate tax, they leave it to finance people, and sometimes the business people look at, it's a lot of money to just put on me, don't want to pay pension and all that. With this your product, you can do this. Now, if you do that at that stage, number one, you already have people who have the power and the mandate to push, right? Number two, the people who now are going to use your products, they are there. Then you now look for key opinion leaders who can talk about this and explain it, and you partner with them also. These three synergy coming together can actually help you in driving longer than you going to go and start talking to people one-on-one to explain to them. I understand, that's my name of problem. Right now we have a lot of staff, and calculating their pension and paying their pension. If head of finance,
HMO,
HMO, I know how I fight for HMO. I tell the people that look at, if one of these people fall ill, it's a bigger problem than they not doing their job, because it destabilizes whatever thing they do. You know now, if you don't pay for HMO, trust me, you know that I'm coming for anybody's name. I'll give it to you. But and I know how difficult it can be for HR professionals to explain, calculate it, because for an average finance person, me coming from management point of view, what's your ROI, right? And also, if I'm looking at cash flow, if I need to make some adjustments or I need to make some sacrifice, I typically want to delay some bills, some statutory payment or other ones. I think, how much is the fine? If the fine is just 250K, when I have the money, I'll pay it and let me go, right? So you need to really find that circle where your customers are. Look at the HR professionals, HR managers, HR directors, and you find out that, okay, they are going to do the August event happening. How are you going to be there? How are you going to drive balls to if you are coming here? How are you going to find a way to partner with them to launch your products and services and educate people there? And eventually, finally, get the database of everybody who comes to that event and all their members. That is those that are at the event and those that are not at the event. So, and I know people should have like tens of thousands of members. You can partner with them, also get a database. Then you can now start your growth happening from there. So that is one way I can try. Now I'm just saying this, I'm not going to work. You don't say over 270 to work. It's just an idea. Try it out.
This is where the free consultation stops. For further inquiries, please consult. I'm just joking.
But that's one way actually.
All right, we have one question. Please, you need to put the microphone inside your throat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so the question says, what would you say made Opay blow like they say in the streets?
Like
How
blue.
did they attract that paying customers in relation to their business model?
Okay, so I will try to address this without giving out more secret, right? But one of the major things I learned, working at Opay was number one, numbers.
Mm.
A lot of startups, you're asking them, okay, so when typically who are your customers, right? How many downloads do you have between male and female? How many percent of male are your customer? How many percent of female are your customer? How many percent of salary earners are customer? A lot of people don't even have analytics, right?
Mm.
First thing first is before you start doing everything, how do you track your numbers? When I was working at Opera, so I actually was head of marketing for Opera Group initially. So I was managing Opera Mini, then we launched Opera News. I was managing Opera News during the World Cup and all that. Then when Opay came on board, like, hey, guys, jokes. I think we're already fine with this one. I've done a good job, and we moved me to Opay, right? But what I can tell you is at every point in time, anywhere from my bed, with just 2 clicks, I can see all the marketing visibility all across the world. That is this big company, right? So they have the money, they have the technology. But with simple Google Analytics, it's very simple. Google Analytics is free of charge. It's free now, it's not expensive, it's free. You should be able to, number one, track your numbers. How many downloads, how many installs, how many views, where are they stopping? What are they clicking on? First of all, try to understand all that so that when you now get traffic, there's a pattern, you can find a pattern, right? Number two, you should be able to experiment, right? I don't think there are not many Nigerian companies that would have given me the resources and would be patient enough to allow me to experiment the way I experimented at Opay, right? So one major thing they do is they experiment. The Chinese people believe in experiments before innovation. So the way they coin the word is copy before innovation. So that copy before innovation is okay, what is trying, what is working? Take it, let's try it out. Then before we now have thinking of okay, how do we make it better? So they're not always keen, working at Opay, we're not always keen on pushing out the most beautiful interface. The app was the ugliest app. It was ugly. But one thing they know is this is what we want to do, and they will shamelessly do it. You might laugh at them, they might be awkward, but these Asian people will try it. They will do it. If it works, then they start putting in effort, which is why I said initially was your first system first, right? Don't go and put into more effort making a shiny app, build a beautiful website with banners, color. Nobody see when your product is new, nobody cares. It's functionality that is important. And if it's functionality, what is that one product or that one feature that you see I want to promote or you think that is the one? Just let it be the on that website or on that app. So when we started out, it was just only airtime we're doing. It used to be operapay.com. That was the website, I think. That was the Operapay. It was only airtime. Only airtime we're using InterSwitch then. After that one, then we now joined together and so we click on the app. Then we now added the transfers, right? Therefore transfers, then we now started doing the withdrawal, which was the POS. And that was where we now do.
Right? So POS that made you blow.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at it, there was a system. We didn't start initially and just covered everything. So when we started doing the likes of O-Ride, O-Food, O-Strike, O-Boss, it was that at that point we already knew what was working, right? So then we started adding okay, what's the next good. And the truth is that those things you're telling experiments. What way can we bring in users to start downloading the app and using the app? That was the good experiment. And it worked. Right? So that's in itself, learning that actually taught me that so things don't have to be perfect. Any idea I have, I go try it out first. Then finally, execute,
then talking.
Execute, ruthlessly execute. So I guess the reason why I thrived there was that I'm an execution person. I'm not a team. If you want to kill me now, tell me to just do 20 slides. I will have a glitch. It's not that I can't do it. But it's making you weak. Someone they always
to create the slides.
But just looking up now, go and execute on this thing. I will start putting things in place. I will do it. And because it's a culture that go and execute, they come back and say sorry, it didn't work, right? So it gave us speed.
Wow.
So that speed was something nobody would match, nobody saw. Was that I'm already in 3 states, I'm having an event, and the event doesn't have to be perfect. In short, sometimes it's as the event is going, I see that more people, that we are getting chairs. We start getting more chairs, right? No, we don't. Sure, the space. Let me tell you the truth. When I was doing those events, all the events, I never knew one vendor that I was talking to. I just tell my staff, hey,
let's go there.
Just we're going. Tell them we're coming to this time. Look for go and the hall. We do the hall. So they later on that partner will go to the NG. But we just believe in just doing it. So that just doing it was what gave us that edge.
Just get things done.
You have to overthink. You didn't have to sit there in any long strategy meeting. Think of the strategy, then not think of how I'm going to apply strategy. We need to do that. Just Monday meeting, guys. Okay, so I might download. Okay, how many agents? Oh, who are active? We're saying that this state is not active. Hey, choose Alpha. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, call them.
Call them. Oh yeah. Hey, call them. What do they say? This is the problem. David, fix it. Right? If we need to go there, choose our events. Let's go there quickly, right? So that's in itself. I mean, look at it. All Chinese brands that boom in Nigeria, we've seen they've never been the most beautiful because they don't talk, but they work.
If you remember how Technophone was, the first set of Technophones.
Very ugly. See now you can see that Chang'an cars everywhere. People, I saw Chang'an car, I saw JC car. I'm thinking about that. I have the money.
Sorry. Be sitting all day.
But the truth is that when they started building those cars, they were ugly. So that's the Chinese principle. Imitate.
You can. Sorry. I can stand.
Sorry. People have kept this system for so long.
Sorry.
So that's the whole idea. I think in Africa we need to emulate that same strategy. And it's the same way I'm working right now between, right? I'm a co-founder. And me and my other partner, we both worked at Opay too. Both of us, they know us. It's just my staff cannot come to me and tell me stories. I'll tell you, okay, so
what have you done?
Just assume that you're on an island and you don't have all these things you're looking for. And this thing be done. Yes, choose it. Hey, fine, go and do it. No, go and do it. It will break. What will be the worst? They will not. Nobody will die. Yes, go and do it. So that in itself is very, very key, mostly for us in Nigeria, because our environment, our business environment is harsh. Money is not very easy to come by. We have too many things. Government will come and change policy tomorrow. You just need to go execute. Execute and come back.
Before you come back, say the policy might have changed. So it's better you just make some money from it.
Just move. Don't overthink it. Just move. Right?
Yeah.
Test it. Let me be perfect. Just do it. Experiment, then move. So those are the major things that was very. Yes, we had big budgets, but if we didn't have this right culture in place, we were to have kind of big win that we achieved.
So you see, so there are even, I think there were even startups in that time that had similar budgets, but still didn't make it through. Yeah. So it's not about the money. And by the way, Opay, I think Opay was one of the most recent, like Money Point and the likes in that space. Opay now has the biggest agency bank in Nigeria. And the banks have been trying to do this for, I think, for how long? Yeah.
It was 2019, Paga clocked 10 years and they were celebrating 20. That's right. So initially I'm not a number, I don't like putting my numbers out. I don't. Even right now, I don't. I always tell my marketing staff. People know we've done billions in collecting loan. Okay, so what would they do? Are they my problem? No. Are they my investors? No. Approve it, right? So, but the thing is for them, we need to do this. How do we do it? I say, oh, okay, this is okay, go. They don't ask me too much questions. Just go. Just go on it. Right? So yeah, execution.
Execution.
Okay.
Yeah, next question. Time is
running. Thank you so much for that. Do we have any questions in studio? Yes, no, maybe. Online, do we have any questions? If you have, you can drop them in the comments section and I will read them out. Sure, please go on. Yeah, go on.
You are here now, so
I'm here for you.
Hmm.
But he was so work-minded. And if he comes and see that, okay, once it leaves off, see that we are getting the result, no bother, no stress, no proposal, nothing. And you get the full money. Yeah. He will tell you, can I see your eyes? And me, what? I
So that the money is coming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Meetings.
As much. They want you to give as minimum
Information as possible.
yes, and tell you to and get results as if you might. Yeah. Really, it's with me. I have to go and start. I want to plan.
One of the things I will even say is that, see, it's normal like that. But one beautiful thing is that as long as you keep churning out results, people will align. They will just know that that is the culture of that company. But in the early stage, you might have to conform a little. So if proposal is what people are sending to get projects, just be doing a proposal. Okay, for example, I think I started getting few ins in the movie industry. There are some directors now. I don't think that they will need to come and you will be the ones going to say that, okay, please come and help me direct this movie. They are not the ones, you are the one down to pay. I don't think they will be the one to send you proposal that I have history with. You've seen their work. Come on, that's one of the beauty of creative industry. You will even hire somebody before you check their CV and check if the person graduated self. Let them know. He has designed something. You didn't even know that he finished secondary school or not. You saw his graphic design. I see somebody speaking English and started studying basketball and design integrated from one university somewhere.
It's not even too hard.
It's
all the work I don't see. Like, when they ask me what I did. They never
that's true. What did you study, sir?
Study philosophy. No. So, and
just solve the problem, get things done.
And that is the same culture I've built my own company. Right? It's 3 years of BFREE. In short, it's not my head of admin. When she have to be, oh, I studied this at the Uganda University. We are graduates. You know, I just, you say, what did I put my recruitment? You say you can do the job, and I will not be doing the job. You have to do it. Don't stress me. Don't stress me. It does not.
Yes.
So we now had to start thinking. When we now did the research, we found out, okay, everybody puts in your highest qualification. We found out, oh, like in the contact center, 6 had masters.
Wow.
2 had 2 masters.
Wow.
So we now have to start thinking about it. Okay, no, but initially, when we're growing or when we're recruiting, just can you do the job? Prove can do the job. And everybody's KPI is very clear. So the truth is, as Maria said, yes, initially you have to prove yourself, and the market is what it is. Quite honestly, my wife told me after a very long time I was in a pitch on Friday. It's very intense. I said, yeah, I have to do it, right? But there are some clients I don't have to do pitching for. They're like, oh, okay, somebody fed me and come on board with them. So the markets, you have to find a way to work with the markets, right? Yeah, the Chinese people, they are work. Trust me, we are going to bed around 10 o'clock. Chinese groups are still having meetings till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and they'll be at the office by 9 a.m. in the morning, everything. Their culture, that's how their country, their country work harder. When they come here, they're relaxed.
It's flexing.
It's flexing.
That hard work is
because
flex.
You don't work all the thing. In their country, people work for 9-10 months, they don't see their family. They go home once a year, they don't see their family. So but that culture also, it will not be smart to say, oh, let's bring that same culture to Nigeria because we are different. Economic,
We are
position
people
different,
oriented.
yeah. Them, they are not people oriented. And you are complaining about Nigerians. Trust me, you ain't seen them yet. You have not seen Kenyans. You have not seen Ghanaians. You have not met South Africans. And you work with them and employ them. Zambians. People that will tell you, this task, Tanzanians, they'll tell you that this task you gave me is stressful for mental health. Yeah. Like, yes.
Per month.
They beat Nigerians.
We don't have.
I thought we have public holidays more than.
We are just beating ourselves too much. We don't have public holidays.
So we are trying.
See, at least I have a Nigerian. If you tell I have a Nigerian, I will pay it money, work hard. Nigerians, you give me that money, we'll die here. And that's the reason why they don't like us. So they feel threatened, right? I want to see a Nigerian. Anytime I travel, like we have an office in Kenya. We're just winding down right now, and they always feel intimidated when they meet me. Like, so what I would like is that we have to put a Kenyan person who does meetings and everything. But like, you don't need to just hear me talk. Oh, Nigerians are here. All of you work.
Work. So much work.
So I want to have to give you stuff. How many times have you met? Like, this client for tea, this client for lunch. And I'm looking at the guy. I said,
how many have you closed?
How many have you closed? None. Even in Lagos, I've never met a client before. Like, I don't go, what's lunch? I go to the office, 9 a.m. I'm in the office. I've got to go and block an idiot at the bank by 9 a.m. The man was mad. Like, don't you sleep? I said, oh, God, no, we'll talk. Them cannot live that way. So trust me, I know the conditions in Nigeria are quite painful because of, quite honestly, I would say the conditions, but we have it perfect here when it comes to the willingness to work, the drive. So that proposal, what I would advise you is have the template, right? Look at, you can think of the use case, have like 2-3 use cases. So for bank, the use one. For big company, for reason. When you just come, just change 1 or 2 things. Me, quite honestly,
So be prepared.
My presentation is one. I give it to you, and that's the same thing I come and propose. I come and tell you. I'm not, except you ask, oh, I want to see this one. I'll explain to you, then later I'm going to do it. It's not sustainable. You now want to start doing, have a template. You can put in a lot of work, think about the questions people ask, address those questions in your first 5 slides, right? Most importantly, think about the questions, things people want to know. Want to know about your product, address it in your first 5 slides, then the remaining can tell your story. You'll be shocked that everything you do is fine. You say, don't want to stop here, let's go. So that is how you can. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think that this is where we should wrap it up. Thank you so much, Mr. Chooks, for your time. I think you're the most punctual today, and then we kept you for over 4 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, but thank
it's
you.
Experiment too. We also try to experiment.
Thank you so much for your time, for the insights. It's been this has been powerful, honestly. The one that what me I'm taking away from here is a lot. And so I'm certain that other people that have sat through this are taking quite a lot from it as well. And to our esteemed governor for lending us his studio and making this such quite the experience. We're grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
And to everyone who left their homes, came down here just to be a part.
Yes, thank you.
We're glad to have you here. Thank you so much for participating. And for those that are online, we see you. Thank you for sitting through this session. For those requesting for the recording, you will get it during the week. That's a promise. Thank you so much, everyone. And we'll wrap it up with a closing prayer because our parents' company is a religious one. And so, yes, the parents' company is a religious one. So, yes, we'll wrap it up.
Word and confession.
Our guy from HR, please, you mind helping us with closing prayer? Yes, please.
Amen. Okay. Amen.
So
Thank you.
Having me today.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. Lovely to
Pleasure.
see you in person.
They keep smart and they keep fast.
It was ruthless.
Just as a kid, I always look and say, just don't overthink it. Just go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that is mystery stopper idea.
See, I see
see how I've done it mysteriously.
You've tried it, have you?
It is genius.
But that's it. I think one of the textiles company, they are into providing vendor payment. So this, there are issues where people buy from Instagram, vendor will not deliver. So what they do is that they warehouse the money. Then when customers say, "Oh, I've received," and the goes to food, then they not release fund. They're having issues. I don't say, go on GG, check list of customers. Say, they can find in Alaba International. Go on Alaba and all of you send people. Go and ask them, I want to buy a laptop and I want to buy electronics. Go on GG, I see you. Say, I go use this product, pay you. Don't worry, this one, that one. By time 6 people ask for that same thing. Right now, all of them now. All of them right now. I told them last meeting I had it. I said, just go and open an office at Alaba and just sit down here. Because if I'm able to just take Alaba International for the next 1 year, it's enough to even enter principles here now. What are you thinking about? Also just focus. Because who buy now, who buy phone, who buy electronics, laptop, TV. This one want to go and spread and go to cover people that buy clothes. How many people do that buy clothes? At least for the electronics you can see.
They are all in one place.
All in one place.
Just like one place or
they have market leader. They have market leader. See that market leader. Sit down with him.
Thank you so much.
Drop price.
Thank you for coming.
A pleasure.
Sorry, we started late. Oh, I always see so. Yes, of course, I'm making money last week. Okay, I'm in the market. I'm going to go to the
Because of the angle I this code. Maybe not all of them, but there's one particular one. You ask me to go on that. What's it? Yeah, exactly. I came before less than you. The statue card. Came before you. Already. Can I really understand that you decide that was making you think? What they were following the money.
You work better. You don't need this thing. Right. You achieve what this thing is now. That's really important. You have to ocean home and wife. Home and wife are looking for it. And then some of those
Why we need one ring for that back? Yeah.